Having a weird week here. That's all right. But a couple weeks ago, I got to go to the Aquatic Gardeners Association convention, which was held in Seattle. Wasn't actually in Seattle, but you know, just south of Seattle. It was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of cool people, have some good times, have some laughs, and most importantly, acquire some plants. I acquired a couple of plants. Here's one of them. Alternanthera renekii variety Roseanna Pick. I hope I'm saying that right. It sounds kind of weird, but it is a really neat varietal of what most people would refer to as AR. This tissue culture is a lot of fun to deal with. It comes with this growing gel underneath it, which does need to be cleaned off. And then planting is pretty typical. You just clean off the gel and then plant it. We're gonna add it into the 120 over here with the bristle nose and the shrimp and stuff. This is coming a pretty fun tank, but I need to make some changes because the Pinnatifida is sort of overwhelming the whole tank. Considering adding some more driftwood and stuff, but that'll probably come later. I think right now it's just time to move some plants around and kind of mess with the scape a little bit and allow it, and you know, add things like some new plants like this AR. The AR Roseanna Pick doesn't need water that different from its cousin, either of the AR, so reasonable amount of fertilizer, nothing over the top. Some pretty easy to use fertilizers are available for it. It is a pretty heavy root feeder, so you do want to make sure to have some decent substrate. Obviously good lights. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Fluval Fresh and Plant 3.0, whatever they're calling it now. I'm a big fan of these lights. They work fantastically. LED unit that works great. It's waterproof, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows that it's an awesome light. Pick one up from Aquarium Co-op if you get a chance. Hey, it's got that MAP pricing, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty good stuff. Either way, let's get back to the plants. Pretty simple to do. You know, I think a lot of people are a little bit confused about tissue culture plants. I find it a little bit more difficult to convert tissue culture plants in my aquariums. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm pretty lucky to get most of my plants from other local hobbyists and stuff like that that's been aquacultured. I don't typically get stuff from the wild or immersed grown stuff and have to convert it all that often. But I would say that if you were converting immersed plants and converting tissue culture plants, it's about the same. It's really, you know, I mean, if one was a 4, one's a 3.5, you know what I mean? It's just kind of the same sort of deal. So if you've converted immersed plants, getting tissue culture to grow in your tank should be just as easy. The Roseanna Pick is a little bit smaller, so you are gonna plant it a little bit closer to the front of the tank instead of having it all the way in the back like its big cousin. And other than that, it's a pretty easy plant. I did while I was at the AGA, get some really cool planting tongs, which you'll see those in this video. But I got some even cooler planting tongs from the Willamette Valley Aquarium Society, which I am actually going to their 1-year anniversary. Vicky and I are going to drive down for their 1-year anniversary of that club. So many cool people there, and I'm going to try and interview every single person that I can while I'm down there. So we'll see with that coming up. That's pretty exciting. Working on the 120 finally is pretty exciting in its own right. And a little hot tip for you guys. I'm sitting on a completely different tool that I'm going to be making a video about here pretty soon of how to work on your aquariums. This is going to be kind of game changer for me, but that'll be a later video.